Recording live from count them, three locations.
This is Past the
I'm Patrick, and as always, I'm joined by two mean green men. Caesar, aka LCs.
When they ask, do I believe in the mean green? The answer is yes!
And Jacob, aka Bethke.
But he's also wearing the fake green eagles on his.
Well, they're so real, though.
I did see a kid in a Jason Kelsey jersey at the game.
Did you punch him?
No, he was probably 20 years younger than me, but also like twice my size. So
was he a frat boy then?
No, like I think this kid was in high school.
Oh shit, a recruit maybe. Okay, never mind. If it's a recruit, I don't know.
I say twice my size. He was just taller than me and a little bit more of a gut, but
Okay.
but
He's
yeah,
a recruit. You don't know.
His braces didn't make me think he was coming to play anytime soon. But anyways,
was it a Kelly Green jersey?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
He got the blue and yellow one.
Oh, they wore that once. Thank God they never brought it back out.
We could actually do a long time on uniforms, and I might want to do that someday. That might be an off-season project.
Did you get the Coastal Carolina ones?
I didn't get their uniforms. I got something else from that game that was pretty interesting, though.
Okay. Damn, I was a little lazy, but there was some Coastal Carolina uniforms.
All right, we got time. We can find it and put it on, put it in an image or something. Yeah. So we're back. Football season's halfway through. We got the first college football rankings to go over today. Everything about the NFL. We're gonna do some quick hits on some other stuff before we get to any of the American football on what I believe the radio told me was American Football Day in the United States today. I don't know what that means, but let's run with it. But yeah, I did want to stop and mention I know Caesar's seen at least once, if not twice, the Chainsaw Man Reze Arc movie.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. As someone who's went in pretty much blind, that is an awesome experience just for anybody. It looks insane. It sounds insane. It's written very well.
Leaves you feeling empty as shit when you
for me, but just in terms of the ages of demons and stuff, and what I should or shouldn't be seeing animated of their bodies, but
well, I mean, it was censored, sort of.
No nipples. There were no nipples on the breasts of the anime girl that was naked in the water. She had like Barbie chest.
I've heard of the Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, so they released the next part of the story as a single movie.
Type in that. And also, I could not get a good reason for the exact why November 5th is football day, but it is.
It's American Guy Fawkes Day. That's why.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening here. But is this a three-eyed shark with
beam
crab legs?
Crab legs. Well,
he does kind of take like an amorphous state sometimes.
Oh yeah. When he's in his full shark form.
And this is Chainsaw Man.
That one's a little more obvious, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, the story though is for that particular movie, it's really good, and it will leave you feeling very empty inside when you leave.
Yeah.
Do not choose to be the city or the country mouse, for the cat is always.
He's got a little symbiote action going on with the tongue.
You're like about to start thinking things might go good pretty early on, and then there's like, oh, here's this really overt spider web with a butterfly caught in it. What do you think this imagery is going to tell you? And you're like, oh no.
And what if I told you that the story for the main character only gets worse? His life only continues to get more miserable as the story progresses.
It's
little pockets of hope, but a whole lot of just a lot of hurt, a lot of pain in that story. It's good though. But
yeah, it was an incredible time, and even maybe even especially as someone who went in with basically no knowledge of what's happening, thought they did an incredible job with that.
You got Reddit saying things about how well you adapted the source material. I don't think there's a higher praise for an anime movie.
Problem is, scroll through any Reddit comment section, and you're going to see every single possible opinion in between of how.
Let me go to the Marvel subreddit and see how they're ranking the last few movies.
Most of the TV shows, I'm sure.
Might be a little biased.
But anyways, it might be too late because it's probably done showing. But if you get a chance to watch it at home, you definitely should. Especially if you have a nice sound system or some good headphones.
Oh yeah, the sound design. Whoever was the sound designer for this movie, give him more money.
And I'm pretty sure they had a significantly smaller budget than the Demon Slayer movie, I would assume.
I
think it was like $4 million for this one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so the studio that made this movie takes on a lot of projects all at once, and so they have to really
okay. Demon Slayer's budget estimated at about $20 million, where Chainsaw Man's somewhere between 4 and 4.5. So
and for anybody who cares about Rotten Tomato, I was gonna say, for anybody who cares about Rotten Tomato ratings, it is maintained a 97%. I think 97% on the tomato meter, and then the popcorn meter 98%. Whatever that means to people who use that.
How many can you see how many votes it has or whatever into that rating?
Over 2,500 verified ratings on the popcorn meter, and then 39 reviews. I'm assuming that's critic reviews.
There was a funny bit on the Lonely Island podcast when Naked Gun came out, and it had a better Rotten Tomatoes record at the time than whatever the Dave Franco, Alison Brie Together movie. And so Andy Samberg was pretend talking shit, and then like a week later, Naked Gun dipped below, so he had to do a fake corny apology. It was good stuff. But anyways,
I'm actually glad I get to finally see Naked Gun. I got it Paramount Plus for free with my internet package and didn't realize until recently. I caught up on South Park. That's fine, and
I'm still I've only seen the first episode of this new season.
Well, you'll enjoy hashtag South Park sucks in South Park. they have some fun. I wouldn't say it's like
hashtag cancel South Park like 10 years ago, and
they're on the same kind of thing with it right now too. But I got it, and Paramount, the streaming service, couldn't be more troubling if I've ever logged into one. But I saw the Naked Gun. I was like, oh, cool. Something else from this entire stream. There's like Doctor Country.
You get all the
Sheriff Country.
Yeah. You get all the Star Trek, though. That's nice.
I never really dipped my toes into the Star Trek much, to be honest with you. And that feels like a deep, deep pool. And now I'm afraid.
Yeah. Probably better not to just get yourself invested in that one at this point. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll do a quick. Speaking of stars, that was a good transition. Quick little check-in on the Dallas Stars on the ice. Guys are hurt, but they're playing okay. They're still finding a way to win games or at least get points. So they're staying competitive. New coach, new system, basically the same roster. So we expect them to make the playoffs, and we'll, unless a bunch of people end up getting hurt, I don't think there's any doubt that that's going to happen. We did get an announcement during Monday Night Football that the AT&T Stadium, a.k.a. Jerry World, a.k.a. the Death Star, will be hosting a 2027 NHL Stadium Series game where the Stars will play somebody. I don't know if they announced who that would be yet. So the Stars get their second out of the AAC game, but it's not a Winter Classic. So those are the outdoor games like they did on New Year's Day at the Cotton Bowl. This is the Stadium Series where they just kind of play wherever.
Got you. So this is a little bit of ways to continue to do a little fun.
It's a way to get 100,000 plus people to a hockey game.
Yeah, and I guess it makes it more interesting in the regular season as you continue to play your unnecessary amount of games like the other leagues do.
They're adding. I don't know if you forgot. They're adding 2 more starting next year because they rely so much on the gate. I did hear something funny. Apparently, Sean Shapiro wrote about this, that there's some confusion and thought about with the Mavs withholding the Stars' AAC earnings if that's going to affect the NHL salary cap as a whole.
Oh my God. I mean, that's really unfortunate, but that is fair.
They're not the NFL. They're not the NBA. They're not even the MLB. They're still kind of shoestringing some of this along. So,
yeah.
But
no, that's fair. I mean,
cool
we haven't really covered much of that in depth either. So,
I just wish that if they were going to play a game in Arlington, they'd use the perfectly good baseball stadium that absolutely no one's using anymore. Yeah, that would have been cool. But
so, is it not concerts still there?
I'm sure they sometimes do, but the Renegades are moving out. So
every time
the Renegades are moving out
in Arlington,
they're in Frisco, I believe, right?
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Hold on, I'm gonna see this.
That makes sense for the Renegades. Go up to the rich people land. Go to Frisco.
Called the Dallas Renegades. Are based in Frisco.
And honestly, that's the one Frisco will actually force.
Yeah, they're going to play at Toyota Stadium, that's FC Dallas, right?
Yes.
Cool. So that's that. The Stars will be playing a game on ice at Jerry World. Maybe since I'm older and slightly more responsible, I'll save up some money and go to this one. But I doubt it'll be anywhere close to as fun as that one at the Cotton Bowl was. I didn't get to go to that one, but even on TV, I could tell that was just a blast.
You don't want to be up at like,
and also it's still a hockey game, so it's if it's built the way it was at the Cotton Bowl, no one can get anywhere close to it to see it. So you're just kind of sitting out there. So who knows? I think it'll be a little bit better at Jerry World. Then you have the giant screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you know why. When you go there, it doesn't matter what you're actually watching. You know what you're watching.
Yeah. So moving on. We learned this last week that the United States is better than Canada once and for all, and the only thing that matters, and that's baseball. A sport played by a bunch of people from the Americas, mostly, and then a few from the Far East.
And then the ones that are actually from here are absolutely maniacally trying to do everything they can to keep those players from actually being able to enter our country for various political reasons. It's an incredible dynamic.
But no, just speaking on the baseball part, it was incredibly fun. The Dodgers Blue Jays, that was about as good of a matchup as you could possibly have in a World Series. 2 extra inning games. You basically got a full extra game in 3 innings. Everything was close. It felt like they both belonged. It sucks for Max Scherzer because he went out there and was awesome. I'd like to see him win. I'd like to see Isaiah Kiner-Falefa winning a World Series would be cool. He was almost the winning run. They almost won the World Series on a video review walk-off, which would have been just the worst thing for baseball. But still exciting stuff. That I don't know. Did you watch any of that one?
Yes, I watched most of this series as much as I could in some various ways. But yes, that part I was aware of, the double tap right before the slide in.
And then the very next play is the fly ball where Kike Hernandez gets trucked by the center fielder, and Kike thinks they're going to lose, so he's just laying down like a rag doll on the ground. And then he realizes his teammate actually caught it, and he gets it all fine.
Yeah,
he might be my second favorite Mexican baseball player right now, besides Osuna.
Okay,
he's hilarious.
No, I mean, what about Rojas? Rojas is good in LA now, right? Like that guy's going to be a Dodger legend forever, and no one knew his name. Is he there, Evan Carter now?
You better hope that it's a little bit better of a long run. Still holding out hope that Evan Carter can string a full season together, but I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah,
Ohtani definitely deserves all the love and credit, but good Lord, Yamamoto.
Yamamoto is the right. I know they gave him the World Series MVP, but he was legitimately the most valuable person ever.
The evil empire had to earn this repeat. They did.
True.
Yeah, on the arm of Yamamoto.
On the other side for Toronto, who started in Single A at the start of this year, and ended up being their best pitcher basically through the World Series.
You know what? Kirby Yates is fucking injured or something, right? He never played this whole series.
I didn't know he was on either of those teams, so.
Yeah, dude, they signed him away from us.
Oh, I thought he went to the Padres for some reason.
Don't say this, man. Yamamoto, if he never does another thing in the league, he'll always have that run, and it's going to make him a postseason legend.
Yeah, this was one of the most fun postseasons that didn't involve the Rangers for me in a long time.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun World Series as a neutral.
You really couldn't script it much better than how it played out. I thought
7 going into extra innings.
The fact that 18-inning game, Ohtani, intentionally walked 4 or 5 times throughout the rest of the game after his home run. Just so much baseball happening, and I loved it.
Kirby Yates got a tattoo of the pennant on his ass.
Which one?
That was on the injured list.
This year's?
Yeah. He didn't win with us. He was a rental. He was a 1-year rental with us.
I thought he was on that team. But anyways, so that's it. USA is better than Canada. Don't look any further than baseball. Or I guess hockey at this point, except for you're talking about international hockey.
Oh, no, wait. Did I don't think I saved it. The stuck ball was the big one. Did you?
Yeah, that
ball is the bigger one.
That changed things a lot.
The double tap is what it is, because that one we see verifiably was fine. The stuck ball is really fucked up because on a couple of levels here.
That's the rules, and it was called correctly and enforced correctly. So
right, but I guess
for the
Blue Jays, what I thought was
interesting
was the grass / or the dirt / not dirt. That it was, people think that perhaps the Toronto having that fake dirt, whatever,
is what caused it to stick down there.
What caused it to stick better.
You don't see that very often. You mostly see in Chicago in Wrigley with the ivy in the wall. But most places don't have a gap that can possibly get a ball stuck in it.
Yeah.
Just, one of those things.
Dude. There's a lot of Blue Jays that I felt bad for. Future Texas Ranger Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr., the rookie pitcher, the Savage.
Yeah. I was talking about, because
who
knows coming back, That's
Kirk was good. Yeah, that was a good team, dude. It's unfortunate because it's like when the 16 Warriors or 16 Cavaliers? No, 15 or 17 Cavaliers. The first Durant year, where it was like, holy shit, this Cleveland team is the greatest team, one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. Unfortunately, they're playing the same season as the actual greatest team we've ever seen. And I don't know if Toronto's that good, but they were pretty damn good.
Well, speaking of that, I guess it's a good time to transition on over to the hoopity hoops for a little bit here before we get into the college game of football. So, Bethke versus bad starts, I think is what you wanted to call this.
Bethke versus bad starts is how we're going to do it. We want to keep dabbling into basketball just a little bit at a time, right? So I'm just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Well, there's all kinds of things going on.
You can get so many YouTube copyright claims on this. This is perfect.
Yellow man, nobody move, nobody get hurt. We have the Nets at 0-7. There was never a world in which this wasn't going to happen. I just read a very funny tweet that, isn't it interesting how Ben Seraph and Danny Wolf were just deported to the Long Island Nets after last night's election?
I don't think I can name a single person on the team except for maybe those 2 names you just said now.
And those are rookies. They have 5 of them, I believe. They have I think they have 5 first they kept all of them, if I remember correctly, in this draft. So the Nets are not meant to be a good basketball team. For them to be over is definitely okay. Michael Porter Jr. was leading their team in assists the last time I checked. So that's also, that's pretty incredible. And it was like 3.6 or something, really not, like what probably Michael Porter Jr. should average as a catch and shoot wing player. But the Nets are just awful. That brings us to, so essentially, if you're surprised the Nets are bad, then I just don't know what to tell you. The Pelicans are 1-6. That one is a little bit of both sides of the conversation. I think it's how bad they are that's probably more important. They're 1-6 going into tonight, where they'll play another team that we're going to mention here. Zion's out again, short term allegedly, but we've seen NBA teams be nefarious with their injuries so much to the point where they're going to have to speak to Congress about it. So we will see what that ends up happening. Pelicans ended up trading away basically the rights to have the Pacers and their pick for this season, which now looks like an absolutely terrible decision in retrospect, even though I really like Derek Queen, and perhaps Zion's absence will make Derek Queen a lot better in the long run because they just weren't playing him while Zion was on the court. So it just
they're losing by an average of 15 points a game.
Yeah, last night they won their first game on a walk-off shot. Finally, so
I didn't realize that the differentials on the standings I was looking at were averages. So I was like, well, it looks like they've been in a bunch of close games. They're only 15 under.
Oh no, they got shithoused in at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been good for the Pelicans. But that's kind of what we thought. I think now it's more troublesome because there's a large faction of. All right. There is a faction of Pelicans fans online that are raising awareness to how close to Major League we might be with this franchise. And I do think of all my years of life, this, other than the Oakland Athletics, is the closest I've seen to the obvious writing on the wall.
Do you think they have like the big cutout in the locker room?
What?
The cutout in the locker room of the owner that.
Oh yeah, from the
like
movie.
undressing her.
Oh my God, no! I haven't seen Major League in so long. I thought you were talking about something that actually had happened with Gail Benson in the locker room, and I'm just like,
not yet.
No, Gail Benson has other atrocities she's trying to help cover up in the world. So
and something archdiocese, something.
There's the Catholic Church and so on and so forth. Watch the movie Spotlight and relate it to New Orleans. Pelicans 1-6, not good. That's frustrating on like the surface level because you traded for the picks, you've been waiting for this. But then when you add the level of shit, this team may actually be on their way out the door. I could see where there would be a lot of bad. And I could list of things. Retro Pels on Twitter is the best. Just fucking go through it. Basically, he's just the source for aggregating all of this. I mean, there's things down to like the way that they're sending people emails with very lazy merch, like mock-ups of merch instead of actual merch for them to buy because they don't want to actually pre-make this stuff. Like that's where we're at with the Pelicans. They're not doing the same fan events. Their hashtag this year, they do a hashtag every year. The NBA has all the teams have their hashtags, and there's just Pelicans. It's getting a little worrisome. And we definitely feel like relocation or expansion in the NBA is not happening now. Like I feel like the vast majority of people are on the side of it's been too long. We're calling bullshit.
Bomber's punishment for the Kawhi stuff he has to fund a new expansion team that he doesn't get any money on.
He has to take the Clippers back to Seattle like everyone wanted him to.
No, he just has to pay for someone else to have a brand new team.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen because I think the NBA would be absolutely fucking hilariously stupid to expand to Vegas now or to relocate to Vegas now. I think not only was that always sort of a meh thing that you were just going to do because it was fun and you could, now it directly looks like, now it's too much. Just let it go. The expansion's not going to happen. I'm so sorry, New Orleans. It shouldn't be this way, but it is. Washington, you're good. You're a legacy franchise, but your team's going to continue to suck. 1-6, lots of youth, lots of veterans. The fun part of this team is, again, we always knew they were going to suck, and they'll be able to auction off their veterans for assets. So if you're a Wizards fan, you're sort of just used to this game. But
I think you need to rebrand that whole thing.
No, you got to let them have it. They're not going to get to go back to the Bullets.
It doesn't have to be that either. They should just watch the basketball team. They should just change all their.
No,
so instead of the Capitals, it'd be the Washington Hockey Club.
Yes, although Utah had. Well, no, they got the Mammoths now. They got rid of hockey team.
I mean, I think Washington still has a nice future ahead of them. It's just the rebuild's taking longer. It's bad ownership. It happens. Pacers are 1-6. They lost their starting point guard and their starting center. I don't know what. Yeah, duh.
They're just going to land an awesome lottery pick and then come back healthy. And
speaking of, the Boston Celtics are 3-5, which isn't that bad to start the season, but obviously for their pedigree, it is. And it's probably right where they're going to be throughout the season. They're a talented, fun roster. They're going to play well. They're going to X's and O's and everything, but they're not anywhere near as talented as they've been in years past. So obviously those two franchises we know. The Grizzlies look like we're going to welcome them into the dumpster fire again. Ja Morant is publicly feuding with his team in ways that we've never seen before. And just a one-game slap on the wrist felt like it also showed you that they still know they need to like market this guy for a trade potentially too. So Grizzlies went from looking like, hey man, Cedric Coward, what a steal in a draft. This could be a perfect guy to go and make this team take the next step. And then now, I mean, obviously Ja Morant's play has not increased the way that his star felt like it was going to, which is a big part of this. But at the same time, you really thought this was going to be a more hunky-dory year. They fired the coach, obviously, last season, and I think that might be showing a little bit in the, hey, this Cedric Coward kid's really good. We still like Jaren Jackson. He's been around for a while. If this is the end of the road with Ja, then it's just the end of the road with Ja. But I don't know what that's going to look like or how long it's going to play out. We're going to move over to the Kings, who are 2-5.
Has any relocation concerns also being the smallest market in the league?
So Memphis, I feel like, is different. And I feel like the reason Memphis stays, but yes, they have been brought up. Yes, they also have an arena problem. Speaking of, Spurs passed their arena, so no shocker here. Spurs will be getting a brand new arena. I think Memphis will do the new arena as a city. I think if you look at the city and the way it's built and the way that they're trying to revitalize Beale Street, which is right off of where the current stadium is, I think they respect that. I hope that the city does. And I think the bigger part is they will be able to retain the franchise because it's the state's franchise. They don't compete. And ultimately, they are the big deal there. It's Memphis University or it's the Grizzlies, right? And I think that matters a lot. And I think the city of Memphis will make a decision based off of that. Whether right or wrong, we get into these billionaires should be paying for their own fucking stadiums. I agree with that. But we're well beyond that point. Socialism for them all day long.
I mean, the Spurs one isn't adding anything to the taxes, so there you go.
No, and a lot of these people have been forced to at least meet in
still
the middle.
Probably part of your taxes. I just don't know how they make it work.
And that's probably where the Grizzlies and Memphis are going to have the biggest division point. Is I think they're going to look at the Grizzlies as being very responsible for helping finance the revitalization of downtown Memphis and Beale Street.
You don't think Nashville has any interest in trying to suck them up?
Yeah, I suppose that's an easy option, and you become the Tennessee Grizzlies to try to make it look worthwhile. But I don't know that Nashville
call them the Smoky Mountain Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's definitely possible. Shit talks, money walks. But I do think Memphis ultimately has more incentive than New Orleans does to make this happen. New Orleans has so many problems to think about, and I don't think that the Pelicans are anywhere near the top of this.
That's fair.
And even the Saints to some. I think the Saints will always be fine. Football will be king in Louisiana. I just don't. I think that we've tried, and I think maybe if they had the Jazz, that it maybe would be different because it would be more culturally theirs for a longer period of time. But it's not the way it went. It got bastardized, and now we can't recapture that clearly. And then the final team before the final team, the penultimate one, the Kings 2-5. This one's not super surprising. It's just like, if I'm a Kings fan, man, first of all, let me just hit you with this one.
Life's been hard.
Look at this. Right over the dome. Right over the dome of your best player. Just
I guess backing in the face would be better for the defense.
Incredible.
That's tough. So this team is so bad that you could reasonably
How
argue.
bad are they? Sorry.
You could reasonably argue that Russell Westbrook has helped them save face more this season than hurt their basketball product.
It's tough.
I don't know what to say about that team much. The final team is easy to talk about. It's local. It's the Dallas Mavericks. They're 2-5 to start, and that's not good. But if I'm looking at any of these teams and ranking the concern level, obviously Celtics are the bottom because they knew what they're getting into. Pacers right after that. But I think you have to put the Mavs in at the third slot of these teams. They're missing Kyrie very dearly. I think if Kyrie Irving was healthy and playing right now, this team may be struggling, still may be gelling. There would still be the other issues, but ultimately this team would not be 2-5. Anthony Davis's Achilles thing. I'm less worried about the street clothes bullshit of the Anthony Davis argument, and I'm more concerned about them letting him play when there was a threat of the Achilles issue. Like as soon as I have a 30-year-old big man with an Achilles soreness this early in October, November, I'm gonna go ahead and bench that guy. Go ahead and let him sit for a couple of games and make sure we're good. And they didn't, and then they did, and now hopefully it's fine.
Yeah, although this did they change out their medical staff? Because there was talks about how bad they were.
I don't know that they actually ever replaced anybody after what you're talking about.
I'm sure they replaced the roles. Just
the new change. I think they're still rocking with the Nico staff.
Oh, okay. Well, then they're
The
health of that team is fine.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's been replaced since
like the Luka people. Is like
all of the Luka people were annexed. Yeah, that was a big part of last year's saga. But this one, I don't believe they made any changes in the off season to better.
Significant ones.
Then I don't just tell Mavericks fans don't hold your breath with the health of the older guys.
He told me Kyrie might be back in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, they would need it. But I also still wouldn't – I would argue against that because there's so many ways for you in the playoffs now. You're an old veteran team. This is about sweet little baby Cooper. And if you're a Mavs fan, just watch the game and whatever happens, just fucking eat it with a fucking grin and just be like, but little baby Cooper. Still baby Cooper. That's where you're at right now. The better part is it's not like the Spurs where you guys had to go through the natural progression. I do think this team will get healthy and competitive because again, there's 10 slots out of 16 out of 15 to make it in to the playoffs, right? More or less, right? So obviously it's easier to just bounce back and do something. Klay Thompson, you're a little worried about a slow start, but old guys can start off slow and get better throughout the season, especially Klay Thompson. So that one is.
I can explain the Klay Thompson stuff. All right, the guy is drained. Okay, he's absolutely drained. If you don't know, just look up who his girlfriend is, and you'll understand that man. He's winning off the court.
Yeah, I would almost wonder, for Klay, if he's always just been the funniest, eligible bachelor of San Francisco, right? And then now he comes to Dallas and he's in this very public relationship. And it's like, I do kind of laugh because I wonder if for the first time, only because I've seen so much of Klay Thompson and I know that, he's a great basketball player and I'm sure he is not as dumb of a guy as he seems. But it does feel like this is it could have just dawned on him that there's more to life than basketball this offseason. And I'm not going to lie. That is a possibility, okay? That is a direct possibility that he finally, for the first time in his life, was like, oh, shit, dude, I could do some other shit.
That's right.
And enjoy this. But we'll see.
Couldn't use his boat anymore, so he had to find something else to do.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's enough lakes. I'm sure he's probably something that's good enough. Yeah, so that's really all it is. I'm not worried about the Mavs.
From the Bay to Lake Louisville, that's got to be a bit of a shock.
Listen, he can do that. He can go back to the Bay in the off season.
He probably lives over there by the body of water over by Rowlett, where all those rich people live now.
Is that White Rock or no?
No,
Yeah, I guess actually White Rock makes sense too. Yeah.
I don't know if you can take your boat on White Rock, can
I
you?
don't think no. That's where I was. So I think you would have to go to the other one. Like no, that's not. That's a different one. Anyway, geography. But yeah, that's me versus the bad starts. There's some of those. Most of those you should believe in. The Mavs, I don't think you should believe in as much because it's easier for them to bounce back. The Celtics could also do the same. Grizzlies, it might be bad, but it's still early. And then we might do good starts next week because that's also funny. Part of the NBA is some team that actually sucks gets off to like 10-0 or something.
Yeah, we have a
The
couple.
Bulls going 6-1 or 8-1.
The Bulls are definitely.
We have a couple kind of cool if they can hold it.
The Bulls are the Thunder. I'll buy the Bulls. They might be prime suspect next week.
All right. Well, then I guess it's time for us to say.
Do you believe in the mean green?
Yes.
I didn't know they played that at games. That sound clip that I heard it like 4 times. Friday, was this Friday? No, it was Saturday.
This is Past the Rock.
I'm a man.
Thank you. I forgot that there would be a video intro for this.
No, you're good.
Oh, there you go.
But I am happy to move into the Mighty Mean Green to start the proceedings.
As we should.
For sure. Yeah. So I assume both of y'all watched this game as best you could, if not
Yes.
entirely live. I decided to make the trek myself all the way. I drove like 10 minutes north, parked, and then walked like 20 minutes to get into the stadium.
I do need to know, where do you park to walk over to the stadium? Or where did you decide to park?
Like the neighborhood between like Avenue C, McCormick,
Oh, okay.
just south of 35.
I see.
Because there's a road that leads right up to the drive in to the stadium. You know, that looks like a back road, but that just goes right into a neighborhood.
Yeah. I think we used to know
paying $20 to wait in a long line to park. That didn't seem like a great idea. So yeah, I walked. That was pretty fun. I sat. I was in the end zone about 4 rows back. That was pretty cool. Not. I don't know. It's pretty standard. I haven't been to that. I've been to that stadium once before. It was at night. My only complaint is going to be the screen needs a little upgrade. But there's also probably not a lot of 11 a.m. games there, I'm assuming. So that might have the light might not be built for that purpose.
Yeah, I would say.
But great game. North Texas stood tall against Navy. Navy can get those 14-minute drives on you, and they didn't really get any of those that I remember. So
Mean Green defense played well. I mean, really, honestly.
As well as you could have expected them to play, especially considering, they're not a very good run defense. And, Navy's going to get their yards on the ground because that's just what they do. And the fact that you kept those, you bent, you didn't break. And that's all you could ask for from the Mean Green. And they did that. And the offense did what the offense is going to do, move the ball and put points on the board.
Yeah, my only thing on Nestamaker, and what is this, his like 9th start ever. He just needs to learn when to let go of the ball, not take the sacks. But otherwise, he was fine.
Yeah, there's a lot with Nestamaker here already. We're missing a bit of the point on some of this stuff, but I'm happy for the kid, and his NIL has been picking up like crazy recently. So
I can't imagine what he might make come next season.
Yeah, and I mean that's an interesting part of the conversation.
Choice.
and look, there's a lot of kids here who are in prime position to follow Eric Morris to a better pasture next year if they so choose, and that is what it is. We'll get to it when we get to it. for now, we have this guy right here defending our honor. And I mean, look, this is fun. I mean, I'm a little. Some of the tattoos and some of the things about him make me feel like he represents parts of North Texas I don't know I represent. But if we can agree on making the Mean Green a powerhouse for years to come, and I'm not saying like perennial powerhouse, like top tier SEC school. I'm talking about let's just be like kind of competitive, if not maybe a little better than TCU.
Win the conference a few times, maybe get yourself into a bigger one.
SMU, I feel like they have the ability. They can
Got
climb.
the money for sure.
Yeah.
TCU, I feel like, has hit a bit of a ceiling, and we're looking at them as like, ooh.
You could overtake them.
This is where kids should come to transfer if they're a former 5-star or 4-star from the DFW metropolitan area. But yeah, I mean, that's our bag. So even if Eric Morris leaves, we have a talent bed you can get as long as you have a guy like this who at least is going to fake care and go out there and fucking take his shirt off and rile it up. And then every time they ask him about the funding, he's talking about how he's ready to write a check. That's really what you want to see in this era. So we'll continue.
Also something you want to see here. Nice little play on the defense, kind of secures the game at this point. As Navy drops back to pass, roll right, scramble, toss it up. One-handed interception.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
And that was pretty much when I knew it was over.
Yeah, because once you get Navy behind it, they don't have the guys to be able to come from behind usually.
No, or the play calling ability because they're gonna take so long to do everything.
Yep.
My last two quick notes from the game itself. Kind of annoying having little kids who think they're gonna catch every single field goal, extra point, just running in and out of the section the whole time. What are you gonna do? Football, America.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because it was high 40s, low 50s going into the game. So I got like a jacket, sweatpants on.
And then halftime.
Yeah, right before halftime, it got hot.
Yeah. The sun came beaming.
Yeah, right there in the end zone. That is right on you for the rest of that stretch.
Yeah, that stadium is not friendly towards the student side or the wing side when it comes to the sun. All right, the other side, the paid section, the alum section, they get all the shade in the fucking world. Okay.
The student section is the shit side. That's is the opposite.
Where the bands are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I felt bad for the band every September.
Yeah, that's actually really why I want to go to a game. It doesn't make sense because there's plenty of times I could have done this, but I've never actually seen a UNT football game from anywhere but the student section, which is probably a very normal thing to do if you're from a powerhouse football school. For me, it was just a lot of proof of how lazy I was about going to UNT games. I would just walk in and be with the group for a little bit and then just, head back on out, whatever I wanted to.
Yeah, I was lucky enough that one of our alums, Step, he gave me one of his suite tickets. And so I got to see it from the little suite. That was nice. That was the homecoming game that I believe Portland State blew out UNT.
Oh, you went? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I went to every game except
look, I'm Step.
Yeah.
It was nice. The stadium's so small that you're just like in and out. It's really cool. It
reminds me a lot of Floyd Casey, Baylor's old stadium. It's even smaller than that, but it really is just very simple, very easy to get in and out of. This is the final piece of propaganda. If you're going to build, you build in the trenches, boys. This is Jordan Hawkins' fourth touchdown of the game. Caleb, yeah. And you got, look at all those guys on the ground. Look at all those big green jerseys standing up. That's how you build.
It was fun, man. They were they got three more regular season games to go, 2 on the road, then back home for Temple the day after Thanksgiving. So
plenty of chances to fuck it up. We got a 6-way tie for first of the American, baby. I guess we can stay in the American once you're done with the stuff.
I just saw this. We have the best strength of schedule in the American, I think.
And there are some of these teams that are going to sort themselves out as the 3 weeks finish, or how
some of them have to play each other.
Yes. Yes, I think UNT got lucky because it was no Memphis this year.
No Memphis, no Tulane.
No Tulane. Yeah, that was the other. So that's the thing, is there's still a conference game that we're gonna need
South
to.
Florida, and they got Navy.
So we will see. As for the rest of this, the things go here. We have Tulane UTSA Thursday night. Stunning game here.
I got a couple clips from that.
Beautiful. 48-26 Roadrunners steal the show. Perhaps the Sumrall noise is getting a little loud in Tulane. I mean, it's an away game. Let's not disrespect the UTSA Roadrunners, whose coach also might be out the door in this coaching carousel this year.
Yeah, this was the Roadrunners' first game since Paul played at the Alamo Dome. He must have blessed it for them.
He must have, because Tulane was not feeling well. They looked like the green wave was a bunch of puke coming out of their mouths. What did you flip?
So these should go back to back if I got them in here right. Where are they? Tulane. Who were they playing?
They were playing UTSA.
Oh, maybe I only have one from this game then. Or I mistitled something, but we'll play the Tulane one real quick. This is our wide receiver pass touchdown. Pitch it back to the wide receiver. From behind the 50, he chunks it to a wide open man in the back of the end zone.
38-12. Just trying to get on the board at that point. So I guess
Here we go. And then here's UTSA basically doing the exact same thing from a less distance.
Jesus.
Get a couple camera angles on this guy. These wide receivers can throw. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm guessing that you also pulled Sark's little thing out, right?
Nope.
You didn't?
I didn't see much of that game.
That's fair, because okay, so you just didn't. Sark had a fun one.
I saw the score. I saw the one highlight that I think I might have in here, but that's it.
Fair enough. Well, so that happened. Tulane took a very random L. But again, these are two head coaches that have built very, very consistent programs in the American Conference, and that both are very likely on their way out the door in this coaching carousel, or at least one of them. Memphis beat Rice pretty easily. They will be hosting Tulane Friday. So we have Memphis Tulane this Friday if you need a Friday game. Then the final non-Power 4 conference that I would want to bring up to you guys, since we'll just go ahead and knock the field out now.
Yeah.
We had a big game to decide a conference this week.
Go on. Oh, the Pac-12?
The Pac-12 faced off against each other today, or this past week. In a balmy 10-7 game.
Oh, my God.
Oregon State, who has been awful this season, with an interim coach, wins at home against Wazoo. Wazoo, just an incredibly funny program for a lot of reasons this season. But
they do like a trophy presentation?
I don't know that. So that's the thing, is I didn't look far enough. Did they actually award them the Pac-12? Is this just a regular rivalry game for them? I have questions. I don't have answers. But yeah, so that did happen. The Pac-12, the whole conference was played in one night. I don't know. Like, do they play again at the end of the season?
Yeah, they'll play on November 29th, which will determine this year.
They did that last year. They did that last year too, didn't they?
I guess they have to, right? You got to schedule it twice. It's probably tough to schedule a full schedule without a conference.
Jesus Christ.
Notre Dame manages to do it, but neither of these schools are Notre Dame.
Yeah. Let's get into the ACC then. We'll jump around a bit here. ACC has two games we need to talk about. One of them is near and dear to our hearts here in the DFW area. The other one is not, but it's notable to know because of the playoff. Georgia Tech was 8th ranked going into this week, undefeated. They dropped to the North Carolina State Wolfpack, 48-36. Who I believe, did the Wolfpack get a bump No, they're still. I think they have 3 losses, so they're still on the inside or the outside looking in. So not a bad team with North Carolina State, but definitely not a team you should be losing to with real aspirations. But Georgia Tech has been a good story. They will continue to be a good story. They're not out of anything. It's just now it gets weird about who's going to compete for the ACC and who will qualify out of the ACC, how many teams will be taken from the ACC, and that could leave them on the outside looking in. Miami at SMU, though, definitely helped them because Miami had one job, and it was fairly simple, you would think. SMU just dropped a game they shouldn't have to Wake Forest. We already have established that this is sort of a down-ish year for SMU. They're a retooling year, if you will. But Rhett Lashley and his group, they get it done. 26-20 Mustangs in overtime, right? Or did it? Yeah, did it overtime on that one.
You always count on Miami to just fuck up one of these games.
Back through an interception on their overtime attempt, and then,
yeah. Go ahead. Carson Beck happily to throw the interception to lose the game. And then Rhett Lashley, happy to see the goalposts come down. He asked them to take them to Deep Ellum and to Katy Trail. I don't think that they did that. I think they took him to the fountains in the campus. But Rhett took himself to Katy Trail, and I've got a video for you guys.
the dudes at that table seem to want nothing to do with anything going on around them.
Well, we got to give Dallas fans a second here because SMU being competent is still new to a lot.
Yeah, where we were, yeah.
So there's probably a lot of people who are like, Rhett Lashley, who the fuck is that? SMU's got a football team?
I did hear, I was talking to a guy over the weekend who went to North Texas a long time ago, and I can't remember what game it was that they won back at Fouts, but he claims they took the goalpost all the way to Fry Street.
I don't believe
that far.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not that far one, but also I don't believe that.
Like, that's not like I respect him, but
wait, would it happen to have been the Texas Tech game?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
probably in that time frame, I would assume.
Because that's the only thing. That's the only game that I would think.
I don't know. That's just what he told me. I didn't verify it.
That would be the only one that makes sense to me because I'm like, hey, there's a lot of apathy around Mean Green football for a long time. So if they were ever like plugged in and tuned in, I would assume it was that one right there. That game, like we beat Tech. Fuck yeah.
Probably. I would check out.
But yeah, no, the Price Street and Fouts Field are incredibly close to get.
The parking lot that was once Fouts Field.
You have to, the parking lot that used to be a football field is about 2 buildings away from Fry Street.
Which, by the way, this has nothing to do with. This is just an aside. I once stayed the night at Fouts Field just because of my student organization that I was in, not the frat. And we got to tour the whole thing late at night. Nothing creeped me out more than we opened up this locker room, and you see like all these cobwebs and everything, and just in the middle of the room is just a tricycle. It's a red tricycle, like the one that you would see in Saw. I'm like, oh fuck this. What?
Somebody's doing bits and they're good at it.
For sure.
All right.
Oh, I left my
Jesus. Fouts Field. Was Fouts Field even a big enough field? What were you in a storage closet? I don't even remember that place.
Rooms.
I thought I thought Fouts was literally just 2 bleachers on the opposite side of a fucking field.
Yeah, but there were parts that connected to like the little tunnels that will lead you.
Like Fouts was so goddamn tiny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I saw it on Unnecessary Roughness.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty is it's immortalized forever.
The track one, the Jesse Owens story.
Yeah, it's immortalized forever. Anyway, moving into the Big Ten. Big Ten keeps being one of the funniest conferences because you could argue they have some of the 2 of the best teams, obviously, in the country. But man, they just continue to put out the least interesting product week to week to week because there's so much bad in mid. In like the hierarchy is so fucking. There's just disparagement city. It's America's economy in this bitch. We've got the Buckeyes, and we've got the Hoosiers doing fine. Michigan's a little but they're still fine overall. And then you should have a whole lot of mid to bad, right? And it's making for a lot of boring. USC is trying to be interesting again. They got a win against Nebraska 21-17. Patrick Mahomes Jr., he is now out for the season with a broken fibula. Matt Rule moves to 0-8 versus the top 25 at Nebraska, and a balmy 2-24 all time against the top 25 as a coach in the collegiate level. This is a man that was hired by an NFL team.
I mean, it feels skewed a little bit. You're having, when you're in a conference with good teams and you're at a bad team, you're trying to build it, you're going to lose a lot to ranked teams.
I agree. But the fact that he didn't get that many at Baylor is tough, even though he rebuilt Baylor. I'll give him that. He was rebuilding Baylor at the time. And for him to be this far along in the Nebraska project,
that's bad. Yeah.
It's a little rough because this was the year we were hoping he'd get one. That was kind of like the goal for this year, low-key.
It feels like is it George Karl who has just like not a great all-time coaching record?
There's a lot about George Karl that's just not all-time great. He was a hell of a player.
I'm trying to think. Maybe might be a hockey coach who. Oh yeah, it was the Stars old coach who basically went to like won an expansion team for a long time, and like so his overall record wasn't great. And then it's like, well, that's not fair because that's weird.
I would say Matt Rule deserves some leniency, but that 2-4 all time is still really rough. Just no matter how you paint it. The Big 12 move into, because I guess saving the SEC for last is kind of the most important way to do this now, especially before we get into the playoff projection. Houston, 22 ranked, 1 loss. All you have to do is beat West Virginia at home. Gentlemen, they did not beat West Virginia at home. 45-35, freshman Scotty Fox is making the Mountaineers look a little interesting. Rich Rodriguez is trying to revitalize his old stomping grounds. If you remember the Pat White era back in the day, that was Rich Rod and his offense, and it's back in West Virginia, and they're going to try to rekindle an old flame. This year hasn't gone perfect for them, but that was a big win for the program. Late at night, if you watch Cincinnati, Utah, thinking this was the game of the week, thinking this is the time for the Big 12 for Cincinnati to show who they are. Will you watch Cincinnati get their shit kicked in? 45-14. The Utah Utes now look like they will be on a collision course with the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who beat the Kansas State Wildcats 43-20 in Manhattan, Kansas. So that's a good win for them. They will host Brigham Young Saturday morning. That will probably be your game of the week this week. But what I need to tell you guys and show you guys is very important. I'm going to show you a clip. And if you've already seen this clip, then maybe you don't. Maybe you already know where to look. If you haven't, then that's good. So just give me your impression after one quick view. Anything peculiar about that? Just guys dancing in the locker room?
All I saw was 2 guys dancing, but I'm sure I'm missing something.
Yeah.
So now, please, instead of looking at the 2 men in the front, please look at the young man at his locker in the back.
Oh yeah, he's doing
he's doing the Travis Scott meme.
the thing when Tyler did that the whatever freestyle from the Life of Pablo track, and they're all in the studio, and he's just doing a ton of that.
Oh yeah, well that's fair, but no, there is the Travis Scott
probably more
doing
more
that.
Famous, yeah.
Well, and it's also like him or NBA YoungBoy. They're gonna act like that. Typically. So okay, now we move into the SEC. Wait, did you have any other clips from these? All look like no. These are all sort of random out here. Nothing else from the games I mentioned. Okay.
Wait, have we gone over Princeton's conference yet?
No, we did not go over the Ivy League. The SEC had a big one to start with Texas and Vandy. Vandy invading Austin. Texas back in Austin for the first time in like a month. Wasn't sure how this one was going to go. I felt pretty confident that Texas was going to win this game. It looked like Texas was going to absolutely blow out Vandy. and then things got
weird.
Things got much more interesting than they should. Sark blames some of the injuries and pulling guys out early. I think for them, it was just more or less not running the clock enough. I think offensively, you still didn't see a team that could really bludgeon the ball well, even though they were scoring and Arch looked good and things were good. This was not an offense that controlled the ball throughout the game. And I think that would have obviously allowed them to actually win this game more sternly. So therefore,
it's the ref's fault because they had money on Vanderbilt covering.
Oh, you mean this ref?
That's how I'd be as a ref, 100%. I'd be doing that shit.
Just get that one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't have any. I don't. Or you did clip one? Did you?
No, I guess not. I thought I clipped the 75-yard touchdown, but I didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, this thing started off
pylon cam crap.
Colin Simmons basically manhandled Diego Pavia, said, "Hey man, I'm gonna make a lot of money in the NFL like next year, and you're definitely not going to the NFL." So that just needed to be established. That helped Texas get off to a good start, but obviously scoring on the first play of the game was much more rallying for the Longhorns. 34-31. Horns did get a little penalized for the fact that they couldn't handle this game well, but ultimately a win is a win. And next week is a bye week.
Oh yeah, all that matters is winning out. So don't worry about where you're sitting right now. So
yep. Georgia, Florida, the world's largest cocktail party, 24-20 Dogs. This one was actually pretty good. Florida did hang in there for a while, but the Dogs were able to win in the end.
Florida's a pretty good bad team.
They're not a bad roster. Just clearly there was a lot going on. They did have one of the toughest schedules in all of college football, and they also had a lot of baggage going on with Billy Napier and the trust. And I think that also, even if Billy Napier wasn't all at fault for this, I think that just compounded. They're also potentially going to be worse as the season goes because that star freshman, Dallas Wilson, that ate Texas alive, he's now done for the season, potentially, could move on from Florida altogether. So obviously this new world is a little bit different. They don't know who their coach is. It's a tough one.
Here comes the rain.
I think for more of everybody else, it also just looks like, hey man, Georgia's good. Does this mean Georgia is really good to where they can just win whatever game gets thrown their way? Or is this a sign that they're not actually quite that level of Georgia?
I just think Florida's every week, people are surprised how good Florida actually looks while they're being not good.
Yeah.
Not every week, but a few of these weeks they popped up and looked decent.
Kentucky Auburn Saturday night game.
Somebody had to win.
Somebody had to win this game, and we're talking about it for one reason and one reason only. There was a 10-3 victory for the Kentucky Wildcats in Auburn, Alabama.
Nice.
So honestly, if Hugh Freeze wasn't 6-16 in the SEC over his tenure, if he was 16-6, this still might have got him fired.
It's very bad.
Oh yeah.
But it's also just, Sarkisian kind of went viral this week with his argument against firing these coaches. And it's just like, all right, well, who are you going to hire? And it's funny because, he's right and wrong. Obviously, he's very biased about this. But at the same time, there's a massive coaching circle and cycle that's about to happen with some pretty important programs in a changing world. And usually Indiana's coach is going to get plucked. Usually Texas A&M's coach is going to get plucked. But crazy shit is Ole Miss would get their coach plucked. But I wouldn't be surprised if all three of those teams retain their coaches next season.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
So this situation where it's just not the old way. It's not the old guard, and there is a little bit to be learned from what Sark is saying.
The world's more flat, everything's more seen and visible. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go from Ole Miss, who nobody knows about, to Florida, who's got way bigger pedigrees. So now it's going to help me a lot. Like, no, everyone can see at Ole Miss. Like, you can have a social media account. It's going great there. Why would you leave?
It's a storied program. It's been in the SEC for a while. It just needed more booster involvement.
And even if it's, just not one of those things, there's no real reason to leave. no one's going to probably spend that much more money on you. So,
And if they do, then obviously you will. But Hugh Freeze, I also don't want to defend in this regard because I don't actually have a lot of. I think that he's.
No, he probably should be
recruiting.
gone. Probably should have been gone before the season started, honestly. But
Yeah.
This is the guy that we're most famous for knowing, having coached a game in the hospital bed from the press box.
yeah, doing a lot of
Yes.
coaching there.
Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting about Auburn when I saw this, their defense is so spectacular, right? That they had they showed the records, right, of allowing fewer than 20 points in what the records are, and Auburn is the only team that has a losing record while allowing so few points. Like, that is just chef's kiss. That would be a very Auburn stat.
Yeah, it's a very tough one, man. And then you got what was that? I was gonna credit the guy who cracked me up with it, Nick Perkins. I don't know if this guy's a shit poster or not, but he had the pretty funny tweet with the "How dare they fire a coach that brought them 7 national championships?"
Yeah.
Pretty good. I kind of, that was one that you kind of put on the
Good
back
one.
of your mind from the start of the season because it's some goofy shit that we didn't really care about.
I'm sure we talked about it though. Maybe not them.
We did.
A few schools doing it. Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be more inclined to wonder if I actually mentioned that Hugh Freeze is, very likely to be fired this season if he doesn't handle his business. So it's funny that he did it, but we'll see. Final game of the week. Oklahoma got a little respect back, kind of. 33-27 win in Knoxville. Tennessee was doing the blackout uniforms. Josh Heupel, not the way that you get your alma mater job back, even if there isn't beef there. Because it's like, man, dude, Tennessee, like, this is, if anything, Tennessee is really understanding their place in the hierarchy. When you can't handle this Sooners team, that's good. It's really good. We shouldn't have gotten too down on it, but it was an opportunity, man. It was an opportunity for Tennessee Volunteers to show something, and they just didn't. I mean, it was a tight game, but it felt like Oklahoma was in charge of the whole thing.
And Tennessee's now the best 3-loss team in the country.
Yeah, here's your fucking ice cream party because you're going to the fucking Pop-Tart Bowl. There was some controversy during this.
Get an NIT equivalent.
I would love for them to do an NIT instead of the rest of the bowl games soon. Just to 2 playoffs, a stupid playoff and a good one.
Yeah, the teams 13 through 20, whatever, 25.
So yeah, let's go with you got one highlight here. We'll go with the highlight.
Yeah.
A couple.
At least 2, yeah. Oh, this is a nice little strip sack here.
Yeah,
Boom.
Oklahoma's defense deserves a lot of credit. Brett
I know
Venables,
this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy like pulls his hamstring or something.
yes, he does hurt himself by the end of this.
Here.
Brent Venables is going to keep his job for sure. Not just because the coaching tree is crazy.
They're going to buy him out. They're going to take Eric Morris and Nestmaker.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's done a good job. I think I think that Venables isn't perfect, but he's their guy. And this defense being so spectacular this season, I think it really helps. Obviously, they'll have to keep the offensive momentum after Mateer goes to the NFL next season, but it's at least bought himself more life in Oklahoma.
Is he going this year? He doesn't have another year?
Dude's got to beat Texas, though, honestly. And I don't want him to ever, obviously, but, that's eventually going to come up.
And here was pregame, by the way. I don't know if you saw this whole saga.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
What hit his hurt thumb. And they apparently, grabbed his hand.
Yeah, because
I want to know why he looks like Desmond from Lost. Like, he looks very Western European.
He looks like the guy who plays Loki.
Something about that.
Yeah, he does look like Loki.
Tom Hiddleston, something like that.
Yes, Tom Hiddleston is his name.
Well, what we really need to know is, would he ever wear short shorts?
The Volunteers know he's got his short shorts on. I guess that's no longer frowned upon in the sport.
Yeah, I guess not. It is with me, but
those are the shortest I've ever seen on a football field.
Should be,
right?
Bill, that should be a penalty. Just dressing like that should be a penalty. What the hell is it? Wearing shorts out there?
It's another 50.
Bro, I swear, Kirk
It was
Herbstreit.
the slightest sliver of the top of a pad on the thigh, like where the shorts are cut, like there would have been the rest of a pad there, but they just left the top part in.
Kirk Herbstreit was close to being an anchor on Fox News just now.
Oh yeah,
he was tiptoeing the line. He wanted to say much more hateful words out of his mouth.
oh 100%. I could feel him wanting just to let out a slur or two. I'm like,
Kirk does not
All
wear
right, Kirk.
short shorts. Kirk Herbstreit, not a leg guy.
Kirk Herbstreit, who famously played in like the late 80s, early 90s when the crop top jerseys were a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a crop top jersey quarterback.
Yeah, so he has no room to talk.
Pretty sure. Let's see. Nah, not really. His is long, but I got one of him crying, which is good. I like that.
Let's see, what years was he at? He
He
played from 89 to 93, so he would have been at like the tail end of the crop top time.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any pictures with crop top. I've seen. He also just has a massive jersey on in comparison to his. The pads.
The pads were also massive back then, so everything had to be
ridiculous. Bro, he looks ridiculous in these pads.
Well,
Jesus. Anyway,
he's a Puritan apparently.
That is the way the cookie crumbled for the football's games today or this past week. Please, Patrick, show us the rest of the chaos from the week before we talk about
here. Here's Bobby Petrino getting flagged for yelling at a ref. Just really letting him have it just nonstop for a good 10 whole seconds. The ref really lets him go for a while, but eventually he says some kind of magic word.
There was a magic word. Yeah, there was definitely a magic word.
We'll head somewhere out east where Duke against Clemson. I don't know if I've ever seen a wide receiver that wide open.
Yeah, Dabo hate watch for everyone. 3-5 Clemson now.
I didn't clip him yelling at his entire defense on the sideline. Presumably, no, it was later than this in the second quarter because they gave up 28 the first half.
Yeah, ready to go, maybe potentially.
Now to the play of the year, the double pass from Jackson State. Jacksonville State, Jackson State.
Yeah, this is Jacksonville State in Alabama, I think.
They're playing against Middle Tennessee, who's not having a great year. I thought this was funny. We're going for 2 points here in the fourth quarter, and the lights turn out after the pass.
Crazy, dude.
And you can see the cheerleaders cheering in the dark, the team celebrating, and the graphic gives them the 2 points. So I guess they got it. I don't know. Didn't follow up. I just thought that was funny.
You're right. He got it.
The straight panic of what do we do here? I would love to see football in glow in the dark. Next, we will go to that Ivy League game I referenced earlier because this player from Princeton decided he was not going to go down. And you'll see on the sweep here, a little toss type deal. They got him. They don't got him. He's going to circle back around, change the whole field, and he's going to get a touchdown here. Good job, Ivy League football.
I'm trying to glow in the dark Coastal Carolinas.
Have you ever seen a quarterback hurdle someone while throwing a pass? Because Texas State did it.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. I'm glad you got that one.
It's a bit of a suck, but
hey, bro, he got there.
It all worked out. Back to Jackson State. This is almost an amazing play here. Middle Tennessee at the end of the half going for a Hail Mary from about the 50. Not going to quite get there, but Jackson State's going to start taking it back. And it looks like they might turn a Hail Mary into a pick six. Unfortunately, this guy throws it forward. And then the team kind of does stuff you're not allowed to do with the ball right here when he fumbles it over his head into the end zone. So it doesn't count, but it was still kind of fun to watch. Yeah, that's the last thing I have from Middle Tennessee. Here's a play from Syracuse. against North Carolina, where don't know how that guy loses that ball, but Syracuse is going to pick it up and run it back 55 yards for a touchdown.
I think Belichick got win number 3, right? Let me see. UNC Syracuse. I think they won this game.
See this here, pass complete over the middle, turns around, and he just kind of drops it. It's
fun.
you imagine that happening to you and having to go to the sideline, and it's Bill Belichick.
At the way this season's gone, I don't know, man. Feels like that's probably something they should be used to.
A couple of short ones here. Here's the Illinois quarterback with a broken water bottle. Thought that was funny. And here's the Georgia drum major having some fun against Tennessee. Showing a little attitude. South Dakota State, they're going to try a fake punt. Trailing 7-3 against Indiana State. And the pass complete, but he's going
to not the Jackrabbit.
Indiana State.
Ooh.
Who's next? Southeastern Louisiana.
Naturally.
There's a nice punt return from Southeastern Louisiana against East Texas A&M. And he just, pretty standard stuff, but I like seeing the soccer lines on the field while they play football. I like knowing the priorities in Southeast Louisiana. To a bigger school that you might have heard of, Ohio State. We got one of the most ridiculous touchdown catches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jeremiah Smith.
It's tipped in the air, and Jeremiah Love. Which one is it? Jeremiah Smith. One hand.
Ball. That was beautiful.
Love is the running back at Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I got one for him here in a second. Here's Virginia Tech. They're looking to receive this punt from Louisville. But wait, we're going to block it for a safety.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Cards were in danger for a little bit here and ended up getting out of it.
Untouched off that side.
Cardinals ended up winning this thing, one loss, and they needed that.
So here's Virginia. They'll seal this game up 24-21. Cal steps back, and just a terrible pass.
That's that quarterback, man. He's a talented kid, but that's what he's going to do.
And pick
also one loss in the ACC.
Make it a two-score game with 30 seconds left. Put it away. Speaking of the other Jeremiah, this one's Love, right? Notre Dame. He's going to go ahead and just haul off for a 94-yard touchdown in the fourth.
Dallas Cowboy right here
to help put Boston College away. Maybe this game hasn't been this close, but hey,
Boston College should also not be as bad as they are this season. That being said, yes, I would also want Notre Dame to do better.
This man is fast.
Yes, and he's a Dallas Cowboy.
Could be. Then the last little clip I have here, this one's going to take – this is the longest one. We might not watch this whole thing. This was halftime at the Coastal Carolina game.
Beautiful.
They went medieval times with their mascot doing sword fights with knights.
You got half the clips because I was about to show you that. I've got one for you, too, of the glow-in-the-dark jerseys.
Pretty entertaining. I wish I had more control over this. I'd fast-forward through some of this. We might not make it through the full 2-minute clip. Kind of unnecessary. But you get the picture here. The mascot took down some dudes and won.
Here you go. Now let me show you what jerseys these guys were wearing.
I need to see what that looks like. Do they wear it on the field at all? Like with lights?
Yeah. You can go find the easy picture of it naturally.
That's cool. I wonder. Yeah, I'd like to see an actual game played that way. It'd be hilarious.
I don't think you're gonna get that one. But
no, the UFL would have to do it, and they're not going to. So that wraps up my clips. I don't know what kind of previews you wanted to give to wrap up this.
Let me double check.
Oh, we also talk about the initial college football playoff.
College football rankings are big. We got to do that. I just want to look at the week schedule.
Not in the college football playoff rankings yet.
Texas, Oklahoma, first two out at the moment. But let me get to.
Are they?
Yeah, because
at 11.
Yeah, because of the way it works. I thought. I thought I saw someone with the graphic of that, so maybe I could be wrong.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. A bunch of these teams are playing each other at some point, so that'll.
Yes, BYU Texas Tech, for whatever reason, and for the love of God, is at 11 a.m. in Lubbock. That will be your game of the week. There is not much else other than Texas A&M Missouri that I'm interested in. Oregon Iowa will be very consequential, but also whatever. Texas A&M at Mizzou, definitely going to watch that. That's definitely a big one. After that, LSU, Bama, that'll be interesting, but obviously we know where LSU is at the moment. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Lubbock is the place to be this weekend.
Then that could just basically be a preview of the Big 12 championship, I would assume.
Could very easily be a game that gets a rematch. So, we will have more on that next week. The AP Top 25 came out another week, and then the college football official rankings came out. I've got them side by side. What's notable here is you get your first difference at picks at number 6, where AP went with the Oregon Ducks and the college football committee went with the Ole Miss Running Rebels. As a result, BYU gets a bump, Texas Tech gets a bump, and they actually have the Ducks at 9 instead of 6.
Right.
Notre Dame is on the same wavelength. They basically have Texas and Oklahoma flip-flopped. The AP still has Oklahoma at 11. But
yeah, college football playoff people actually look at head-to-heads more.
Which is also just a 2-loss thing as a goofy one. But Texas is 11 in the college football playoff currently. 12 for the AP is the Virginia Cavaliers. They are 2 spots lower in the college football rankings, where we also see a big difference, and I think this is notable and fair, but also this team has been all over the place this season to some extent. The Utah Utes are 13th in the college football playoff. They are 17th in the AP poll. That's a notable one. Where else? Where else do we find big notable differences? Oh, I know. How about Iowa being 20th in the college football playoff and unranked in the AP? That's a pretty big disparity.
Where does the AP of Tennessee?
Tennessee is 23.
Okay.
Yeah. So nothing too crazy. I forget how it actually would stack up. I might need to see it. Do you have a bracket pulled up at all?
Here, because the thing is, the only bracket they give you is the blank PDF, but I do get the explanation for the format here. So 1 second.
Yeah, I don't see.
Okay.
Let's see. CBS Sports has it. Cool. CBS Sports has it. Okay, so right now it would be Ohio State, Bama, A&M, Indiana with a bye week. You would have Georgia versus Memphis in the 5-12.
Okay, so I've got Memphis slotted in there for that, yeah.
You would have 6 versus 11, Ole Miss, Virginia. You would have 7 versus 10 in the BYU Notre Dame. And then you would have 8 versus 9, Oregon versus Texas Tech at the moment.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, there's some changes could happen. Texas still has to play 2 top 5 teams before the season ends.
I would say, look, we already know 12 is going to go to whatever team wins the American. I would say,
unless they all lose more than one game going
unless
through.
they all embarrass the shit out of themselves, you're right. But I do think one of the American teams will take that slot. Probably Memphis, honestly. They're probably the most competent of all of us.
I believe in the mean green.
I will continue to as well, but Memphis is
Forcing it.
by a track record. They are more consistently good at this point. Obviously, the SEC is going to play out how it plays out. You currently have 4 teams. Yeah, 4 teams right now.
Yeah, three in the top 5, 4 in the top 6.
No, yeah, in the top 5. Yeah. So 2 with a bye week, 2 without, 2 hosting games. Notre Dame will definitely be in unless they fuck it up. And they kind of count for their own thing too, even though they can still be one of the top 4 seeds now. I think we look at the ACC and we see, hey, this is a very talented ACC. You're definitely only getting 1 team. If not, basically the Big 12 and the ACC are battling for who gets the 2 teams, because most likely the Big 10 is getting all 3 in. Maybe Oregon falls off with a loss to Iowa, and then Iowa doesn't finish it off, so they don't go either. And then you only have Ohio State and Indiana. But then you still have Michigan that could beat Ohio State and throw this whole thing into a loop, right? So we do have a lot of funny stuff that can still happen. I would say mostly this is set, though. This shows you a really good image of what to look forward at. Like I said, the 12th spot feels very likely to be the best American team. The Big 12 and the ACC feel like they're very likely going to have to fight for who gets the 2 teams and who gets just 1. And it'll probably be that way for a while. We'll probably keep flip-flopping that until we have our super conferences or whatever it is.
But what if Oregon State sweeps the Pac-12, going 2-0 and is undefeated in conference play at 3-9 for the season?
Yeah, the committee might have to figure that out.
Yeah, at that point, the American Conference is gonna have to sweat it out.
They got to go play the MAC champion and the.
I definitely love the idea of letting every conference champion into a playoff, but then you're just gonna have like a bunch of 2-team conferences all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, it'd be tough, dude. Well, I mean, even just letting them in, like, we're already gonna have this issue where if Memphis gets fucking shithoused as the 12s, we're probably gonna have a decent amount of 12 seeds get shithoused. The goal is that at least one of them wins or puts up a good fight.
Last year it didn't go that way, did it?
I forget who was the 12 last year.
One sec. This website's not great, but I'll make it work. First round, Clemson, and they kept up with Texas 38-24. SMU did get kind of thumped by Penn State as the 11.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, Tennessee at the 9 got slaughtered by Ohio State at the 8, so
yeah, I mean, last year was different because ultimately we knew they didn't do it right last year.
Well, Ryan Day couldn't beat me, so yeah.
All right, well, that's college football for this week. We are winding down.
I know we got 1 week of no stress. That it's Georgia, Arkansas, A&M, and that's going to be fun as heck.
Then it's literally the team that you have to unseat if you're Sark to be where you're supposed to be and where you think you can get Texas. Then you have to beat Arkansas just for the bragging rights, for the fact that you have to beat them.
That's of the 3 games. That's the one you absolutely cannot lose.
And then A&M legitimately for the first time in my life,
our second coin flip game of the season. We have the OU coin flip game and the Aggie coin flip game. We have them every year.
This one's impressive because for A&M, I think if anything, if you're an A&M fan, you're hoping Texas keeps the momentum going into that.
They would much rather beat us and knock us out of all of it. Yeah.
Well, that yes, but I think they also would rather it not be an aimless, nothing left to lose Texas roster because they understand what that means in those rivalries. It's kind of what happened against Oklahoma. It was kind of this thing where they just didn't like it. It does take the pressure off the rival a little bit to be the dumber team sometimes. And we've seen A&M use it against Texas plenty over time. So that one's an interesting one. I mean, A&M, they're back on it. I think they have one more cupcake, and then they've got obviously Texas and Missouri left. I think are their 2 useful actual games. Maybe one more SEC game.
I got it right here. Missouri, South Carolina, Sanford. Oh, because that's Jimbo's school, so it's on the schedule. Yeah, got Samford.
A&M actually just canceled a game with one of the smaller Texas schools, and maybe Texas State, because they were, or no, maybe it was a
conference game.
It might have been a D2 school, but yeah, because of the extra conference game.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, so there you go. We will see how things shape up. The Mighty Mean Green just keep on winning and at least get in the conference game, man.
Believe in the Mean Green.
All right. Okay. Cool. Hook 'em. See you guys on the other side.